the first episode of AWA TV following Golden Gauntlet. I believe it's AWA TV episode 12, part 1, kicks off tonight with the Chamber of Champions women's qualifying match between Charlotte Flair and Io Sky. As always, I am joined by my good friend Justin. Say hello, sir. And we, of course, missed you, my good sir. Now, everybody, of course, there was, as I mentioned at the end of Golden Gauntlet, a bump in the road to WrestleFest, and this is going to be that bump. Chamber of Champions, where both Gunther, our new AWA champion, and our new Women's World Champion Liv Morgan defend inside the Chamber of Champions against 5 challengers. Liv Morgan's first challenger gets decided right here. But of course, that's now of course that is if Liv Morgan is still the Women's World Champion, as she defends her newly won Women's World Championship against Cora Jade in Cora's rematch from Golden Gauntlet. She ran roughshod over the women's Golden Gauntlet match, nearly winning it, eliminating 13 was, I believe, the final count. 13 women all eliminated by Charlotte Flair. Definitely an impressive outing for Charlotte Flair, as she looks to punch her ticket to Chamber of Champions in the Chamber of Champions Women's World Title match. What a match, a grueling match that is going to be. Imagine Charlotte Flair walking out as Women's World Champion, going to WrestleFest to defend against her longtime rival, the man Becky Lynch. You have a very good point, and here comes her opponent, also looking to qualify, accompanied by her Damage Control sisterhood, Io Sky. I gotta say, the numbers game is definitely in Io's favor tonight, with the Kabuki Warriors backing her up tonight, her Damage Control sisterhood. I don't think anybody's ever ready for Asuka. It's just a matter of whether or not you can hold out until she tires herself out. It's going to be a while. Of course, Io Sky, the only member of Damage Control that has the opportunity to qualify for the Chamber of Champions match, with a big splash from Charlotte. Cover here by Charlotte. And now the head scissors. I think that's a head scissors. There you go. Simple ref over here. Now a cover by Charlotte. 2. Yeah, there it is. But I mean, the other part that a lot of people forget about is the 5 other women that'll be in that match. I mean, Liv Morgan, currently walking into that match as the champion, or later tonight, and there's a spear by Charlotte. Now a cover. Could this send Charlotte to Chamber of Champions? Not quite yet. Oh, well, she isn't going to whiff on this. And she's looking to bridge into that figure 8. Did she get her? Oh, I thought she tapped out there. Of course, later tonight, another qualifying match. Mommy, one half of the Terror Twins, Rhea Ripley, 1-on-1 with Carmella, Miss Fabolouas. I think I spelled that horribly wrong, but Miss Fabulous Carmella, 1-on-1 with Rhea Ripley to qualify for the same match. Big diving DDT there. Cover now. Well, it's like you said, she gave Io just too much room and too much time, and now Io's just taking advantage of it. Is that going to be a Spanish fly from the top rope? What a match to kick off episode 12. And now, there goes Asuka getting involved. But the champion's caliber of Charlotte rolling out of harm's way there for a brief moment, now taking out that knee of Charlotte. Going for a springboard. Comes up just a little short. Now here are those patented knife's edge chops made famous by Charlotte's father. And Charlotte connecting with the natural selection. Cover here to go to Chamber of Champions. I don't know. Io had some really good offense in this match, and I mean it. She had some really good moments in this match. Nearly had Charlotte a couple times, but just wasn't able to get the job done tonight. I that was beautiful. A bit of natural selection to send Charlotte Flair to Chamber of Champions, the final stop on the road to WrestleFest. Not only that, but if by some miracle you win the Chamber, then you got to go and look forward to Becky Lynch, who won the Women's Golden Gauntlet match. Well, I gotta say, it's certainly going to be an amazing road to WrestleFest. And speaking of the road to WrestleFest, two men who currently have nothing going on, unfortunately for them, for WrestleFest, who both came up short in the men's Golden Gauntlet match. Santos Escobar actually being eliminated by Carlito. Santos Escobar coming in number 1, Carlito at number 4. Of course, Legado del Fantasma has had their own issues with the Judgment Day recently. Currently undefeated against the Judgment Day. Judgment Day really hasn't been able to knock off Legado here yet. But now, I mean, if you think about it, one would have to think that with the way that looks, you know, with no Judgment Day member being able to knock off a member of Legado del Fantasma, it's, you know, kind of lucky that Elektra Lopez, for Liv Morgan at least, that Elektra Lopez wasn't chosen for a qualifying match for the Women's Chamber of Champions match. Of course, poor Obafemi, who lost his final opportunity at the Intercontinental title against Grayson Waller back at Golden Gauntlet. Now, of course, there you see the woman who will later defend her Women's World Championship against the woman she beat for it back at Golden Gauntlet, Liv Morgan, the new Women's World Champion. Of course, we also have a new a new set of tag team champions, the Bloodline falling to the Street Profits, and an interesting development about that that has come up recently. The Wyatt Six has said they are ready for their rematch that they still have in their back pocket from when they lost the tag titles back at Option A to the Bloodline. Well, that's why I'm gonna solve all of their problems for them. Don't you worry. The tag team title picture will be set in stone for Chamber of Champions on episode 13. Don't you worry about that. I'll make sure that's set in stone. Trust and believe. It's going to be a Chamber of Champions is going to be a massive night, not just for the Chambers, but also all of the other action-packed matches we're going to have at Chamber of Champions. It's real easy to throw somebody over the top rope, and when you got to pin their shoulders to the mat for 3, that's where it gets hard. I gotta say, if you would have told me when I was watching WWE back in 2008, cover here now by Carlito and Angel and Berto sliding their arms in to help break up that pin, but if you would have told me in 2008 watching Carlito defend his U.S. title that, he was going to be, involved with the Judgment Day in 2025, a faction started by Edge, I would have been completely floored as a child that would have been the case. Exactly. Of course. I was a very much not closeted fan of the Judgment Day when Rhea Ripley was involved. I will admit to that. I don't think anybody does. Of course, every time Dominic Mysterio tries to get a word out edgewise, the arena shuts him down completely, and now Carlito shutting down Santos. But just think about it. If the only person to score a victory over Legado del Fantasma in the Judgment Day would be Carlito, of all people. Well, just because never mind. I was going to say just because Santos got up doesn't mean he had the advantage, but now he has the advantage. And now a little payback to Carlito, throwing him over the top rope. Fez press, ground and pound now by Carlito. Of course, the winner of the men's Golden Gauntlet match will be in action tonight. None other than The Undertaker himself. And now we could be looking for a little bit of a Mexican Destroyer connecting to Carlito. Cover now by Escobar. I don't know where the ref is. I didn't see the ref. I believe she was a little tied up there with whichever member of Judgment Day is out there. That's Dominic. Cover now by Escobar. 2 and again. Another Judgment Day member falls to Legado del Fantasma. I beg to differ. This is the moment where he lost that match. And then if the Fisherman's Buster to seal it. I don't know what his actual finisher's name is. Busted open and all. Escobar walks out victorious. I would love to know what they're saying, Hurts, because I don't know what the rest of them are saying. But Santos is the only one who has any gripe right now of being any right now to be in pain. And now we move. Oh, of course he did. Of course. And of course, speaking of people who have had things taken to them. So a man who has had both sides of his face planted onto other people's boots. The first half of his face went onto Gunther's boot, and then onto Farouk's boot, and now he has demanded a match against the man who eliminated him from the men's Golden Gauntlet match, none other than the former 5-time world champion between WCW and WWE, Mr. Booker T. A man who has yet to pick up a victory. I will give him credit. He almost picked up a victory over Farouk a couple on the last episode of AWA TV. However, didn't really pan out too well for him then, and I gotta say I don't know if it's gonna pan out for him too well here either. That is a very good point. Multi-time tag team champion as well. Booker T did. I mean, I'll give him credit. He did last a little while. I mean, when he came in, he actually came in one entrant before Brooks Jensen. Booker T coming in at 16, Jensen's coming in at 17. And then being promptly eliminated was Brooks Jensen by Booker T. Of course, Booker T eliminated by the number 19 entrant, the Second City Saint, CM Punk, who on episode 13 will have the opportunity to qualify for the men's Chamber of Champions match when he goes one-on-one with that dog Braun Breaker. Maybe not for CM Punk, but definitely for us. And I don't think this is going to go well for Brooks Jensen either, truthfully. there's only so much you can do when you're in a ring. He's been in the ring now with 2 Hall of Famers in the WWE and Farouk and now Booker T. Plus he's been in wait a minute, roll up here. And plus he's been in the ring with a former and now current AWA champion in Gunther. You know, he's shared the ring with some highlighter, some highlight reel competitors, and he just hasn't been able to add to his own. Well, he's been around the turnbuckles a few times and still has that agility from back in the golden days. Now, Brooks Jensen is no small man. Now, he is no small man. To be able to hurdle somebody at Brooks Jensen's size, he is a very big man, and now a big cross body from a very big man. Oh my God. I think that might have just given him some hope right there. And there it goes. There goes his hope. I gotta say, I gotta give Brooks Jensen credit for even showing up tonight. And, he's called, what a savant kick by Booker T. But, again, I'll give Brooks Jensen credit. He stepped into the ring and answered the open challenge from Gunther. He called out Farouk, and now he's called out Booker T. He's not. It's not like he's going out and calling out an Akira Tozawa or an R-Truth. He's calling out some tough competitors to make a name for himself. Now reversal by Brooks, and here comes Jensen, baby. Very Cesaro-like. Wait a minute. 2 and almost. He almost had his first victory in the AWA. That DDT planting Booker T. And now Brooks Jensen. 2 and Jensen. Certainly. He is certainly pushing at least 280, and Brooks Jensen and now Booker T are just tit for tat, and Booker T busted open and everything. This is just broken down here, and now Brooks Jensen getting the better of the veteran. I don't know. Sometimes the way Big E moves his hips, I don't think that's what Big E means. But nonetheless, here they go. Wait a minute. The scissors kick connects, and that's going to be all she wrote for Brooks Jensen. He was so close. I feel so bad for him. I truly do. I didn't know we invested in a soundboard. The bloody Booker T pulls out the victory. Oh my God. It was, but poor Brooks Jensen still winless here in the AWA. Akam, the man who eliminated Farouk from the men's Golden Gauntlet match, representing the Final Testament one-on-one against the man, of course, he eliminated, Farouk. Oh my God. Oh God, I can't. The Final Testament, of course, Karrion Kross, his wonderful wife Scarlett, Paul Ellering, and his authors of Pain, Akam, and I forget his name. I honestly do. The Razor, that's what it was Razor. Jesus Christ. Of course, the entire Fallen Testament making their entrance here to the AWA arena to back up their man Akam, who will go one-on-one against Farouk. Akam, who had a great showing in the men's Golden Gauntlet match before being eliminated by none other than one of the final two participants, which is not something I'd ever thought I'd hear myself say, Chris Sabin. Well, thankfully, I am not Theodore Long, and I am not making. It was not. I did not intend to force Chris Sabin one-on-one against The Undertaker. Chris Sabin, of course, came to me and asked to right the wrong and go one-on-one with the man who eliminated him to win the men's Golden Gauntlet match, Mr. The Undertaker. And now these two men, another situation of big, meaty men slapping meat. The 300-pound Akam, the near 300-pound Farouk. And there's only one word to sum up this match right here. Absolutely. Final Testament not liking what they're seeing here from Akam, not putting on the best performance. I will say again, for the newcomer Akam, definitely put on a decent performance at the Golden Gauntlet PLE, where he did last, a good few minutes before being eliminated by Chris Sabin. Of course, the now cover here by Farouk. Of course, the record for eliminations was set at Golden Gauntlet in the men's match by none other than the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, who scored a total of 2 seconds here. 7 eliminations before being eliminated by CM Punk and Carmelo Hayes. But the list of men Sheamus eliminated makes it so much more impressive. The list of men Sheamus eliminated, and we'll get back to this match in just a moment. I just have to read this list off. Triple H, okay, that's a way to start things off. Tyler Breeze, The Don, Tony D'Angelo, Uncle Howdy, Wade Barrett, William Regal, and the Animal Batista. It is a who's who of competitor, maybe minus Tyler Breeze, but still. Yeah, not you know, I wasn't a big fan of the whole fashion police thing, mainly because I got arrested a few times. But that's beside the point. Big move by Akam. Cover now. 2, and Akam nearly getting the job done on the veteran Farouk. Dragon screw leg whip. And now look at Razor taking off that turnbuckle spine buster now. That's the same move he used to knock off Brooks Jensen. And it knocks off Akam. There is only one spine buster better than Farouk's, and it is the inventor of the move, Arn Anderson. As somebody who has taken a spine buster before, I'm sure, speaking from Justin's point of view, I've seen Justin take a spine buster or two, and let's just say I had to help him out a few times. It won't feel the same after that for Akam, I can tell you that much. And of course, I will have to go back and train our referees to not slap the talent in the head when they're counting the 3. You know what? As long as you count to 3. As long as you count to 3, you get the job here in the AWA. That's all it takes. And now, the social media megastar, the man who, I cannot believe I am saying this, the man who eliminated Kurt Angle from the men's Golden Gauntlet match, Logan Paul, one-on-one with a 1996 Olympic gold medalist, former 7-time TNA world champion, Mr. Absolutely, can never forget that. Well, this is a match specifically asked for by the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, and a match that man tried his damnedest to get out of after claiming he was not medically cleared to compete. The AWA doctors went back, checked him out, and said that he is 100% and ready to go. Therefore, a certain opportunity had to be placed on this match right here for Logan Paul to agree to take this match. Well, the Olympic gold medalist. No, I can understand that. I can understand that. And of course, the Olympic gold medalist really wanted this opportunity to face Logan Paul tonight. Logan Paul wanted what he called insurance to make it worth his while, end quote. So, in order to do that, I had to put a special stipulation on this match for Logan Paul. So, the winner of this match, right here, will have the opportunity to qualify for the men's Chamber of Champions match versus Ludwig Kaiser. So, and of course, what a story that would be. Should Ludwig beat the winner of this match, he walks into the men's Chamber of Champions match with his cohort Gunther as the AWA champion. I don't know. He helped out enough for Gunther to beat LA Knight and walk out as the new AWA champion. Of course, Logan Paul would be perfectly fine taking a count-out victory here. Good luck for getting him that. Let alone, I mean, it's hard enough to get him to stay down for 3. How are you going to get him to stay down for 10? Man fought through a broken neck to win a gold medal at the '96 Olympics, and now plants the megastar Logan Paul. Kick out by Paul. Of course, Logan Paul coming in at number 20, Kurt Angle at number 22. Logan Paul also eliminating none other than Dominic Mysterio that night. And he eliminated Braun Breaker. So you know that Breaker is going to be around here somewhere, possibly looking for Mr. Paul. And now a cover here by Logan. No way. It was... Jesus. I gotta say, it's no secret, everybody, that, between me and Justin, and now a frog splash. No, frog splash. This is not happening. It's no secret to everybody watching that between me and Justin, we, share ownership of the AWA, but I can speak for at least myself. I could not live with myself knowing that Logan Paul had the AWA title in his grasp. And now here we go. Angle slam by Kurt. This is going to be it. And Logan Paul is going to fall to the Olympic. Damn it. Hopefully it goes better than the shooting star press of no, we're going to get that. We're going to get to see the ankle lock. The ankle lock by Kurt Angle. Now measuring the megastar. Kurt Angle now with Logan Paul fully in his grasp. Who could ever forget the tiny cowboy hat? Cover now, 1, 2, and Kurt Angle almost knocking off the social media megastar. The welts on the back of Logan Paul already forming. And now the springboard moonsault cover by Paul. Is he going to face Ludwig? Not yet. Thank God. Oh, there's that shot with that loaded right hand out of absolute nowhere. And damn it. Now that means there is an opportunity. There is a chance, although a finite chance, that Logan Paul will technically main event or headline an AWA PLE if he can knock off Ludwig Kaiser. It's the Russian version of the movie. I also don't think Ludwig is Russian. I think he's German, which is somehow worse. Episode 13, Logan Paul and Ludwig Kaiser. The winner moves on to the men's Chamber of Champions match. And then if he wins, if Paul wins against Kaiser, then there is a chance, a 1 in 6 chance, that Logan Paul will win the AWA Championship. You know, on second thought, I wouldn't be totally against that because that would mean that he would go one-on-one against The Undertaker at WrestleFest. However, that would also mean that Logan Paul main events the first ever WrestleFest, and I can't say I would be okay with that. And now, I completely agree. And one of them, arguably, is the AWA Intercontinental Champion, in my opinion, Grayson Waller, who goes one-on-one with Randy Orton tonight. And now, well, wait a minute, the Viper. Definitely the second best Australian in the AWA. And again, we are officially underway here. And of course, as Randy Orton has said before, it only takes one RKO to land yourself in Viperville. And now, Grayson Waller, who has had, I will give him credit, he has had a stranglehold on that Intercontinental Championship since winning it back at Title Torment. One of two inaugural champions to still be holding the titles. The other one, of course, the United States champion, Eddie Guerrero. What a move that was. Of course, all of his title defenses, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all of his title defensive has been against Obafemi. Oba, of course, no longer allowed to challenge for the IC title while Grayson Waller holds it, due to him losing again at Golden Gauntlet. Now Orton following Waller to the outside. Waller now with a big heel kick. Waller, the current IC champion, looks to right any wrongs he feels Randy has given him. Randy, of course, has had issues with Waller's tag team partner, Austin Theory, over the past couple of months. Of course, losing that big Falls Count Anywhere match to Austin Theory back at Option A. And now Grayson Waller to the top rope while Orton's out on the floor. And now Orton on the receiving end of a double axe handle by the IC champion. That pre-match assault has to be coming back right now and biting Orton in the back. Especially considering it only takes one RKO, and it could come out of absolutely nowhere. The most dangerous three letters in the AWA. In my opinion, the three most dangerous letters in the world when they're strung together. Look, I'm young enough to remember when RKO used to trend on Tout. Okay, now covered by Orton. 2 and Orton. Wow. He didn't even need the RKO. Now the real question is, would you think that would give Orton the #1 contendership to challenge for the IC title, say at Chamber of Champions? Is that something that maybe we should be making official? Well, Well, I completely agree. Therefore, at Chamber of Champions for the Intercontinental title, Randy Orton gets the IC title shot against Grayson Waller. Following a second pinfall victory, actually, over Grayson Waller. Of course, the first in tag team, or the first one coming in tag team action. Now, when we come back for AWA TV episode 12, the last two men in the men's Golden Gauntlet match, the eventual winner, the Dead Man, The Undertaker, one-on-one against the runner-up, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin. It has been a great first part. Of course, another match already signed for Chamber of Champions here tonight. And we'll see you in part 2. Justin, send us off properly, sir.